new earth by living in your sacred heart. Quantum Conversations is brought to you by AcousticHealth.com, home of music from the universe, online healing retreats, and this program. Claim your free registration to daily shows at AcousticHealth.com. AcousticHealth.com, your portal to the inner realms. Our program starts shortly. Welcome to another Quantum Conversation, brought to you by AcousticHealth.com. I'm Loren Gailey, and I invite you to sit back as we enter the quantum realm, that space of the greater part of you. It is your connection to infinite possibilities, infinite potential, and infinite mastery. Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us on this very special episode of Quantum Conversations. It is our Friday afternoon club, better wise known as our Friday Night Live. We are so glad you could join us because this is a very interesting conversation tonight about the new 5D beings who are coming and assisting on Earth. And my guest today is a channel, Aileta Grace. She channels the divine realm and assists people in receiving messages from their higher self on their path for new Earth. I want to welcome Aileta Grace back to Quantum Conversations. Aileta, thank you for being here once again.
Oh, my pleasure to to be here on this Friday. Such a wonderful idea to end the week on a high note, on a high vibe note. I want to thank you, Loren, for having me and for all that you do for all of us. Your light shines so brightly, and it's such an honor and a privilege. So thank you for having me again.
Well, it is my privilege and pleasure to have you on this show once again. And the reason we're coming into this space is because the work that you do is really tremendous in the messages that come forth, the guidance that comes forth. It's really higher dimensional guidance from the divine realm, and we'll talk about the different beings that those can include. But I wanted to just say that what happens is people, know what they know within themselves. Yet when we can have a channel come through and assist in validating that which resonates deeply within our heart, that really is powerful. And it teaches us to listen to that still small voice inside. And again, when we have someone like you that brings forth a whole wide variety of guides, not only from the angelic realm and the ascended master realm, but the animal realm, and also the ET and galactic realm. Let's say galactic instead of ET,
the galactic
right?
realm. Yes, that's true. I guess I'm very, very blessed to have been given the opportunity in this cycle, in this life, to be a wide open channel and to not feel limited and to be willing to expand my consciousness to all the realms that are available. And as I do this, and as more of our brothers and sisters step forward to trust in us, myself and all the beings that come through, I'm learning more and more about channeling itself and our connectivity to a vastly more expansive ability to communicate. And so we all know that we channel all the time. whether it's our soul, our etheric body, communicating with our higher selves, our oversouls, or it's our guides, or it's our beautiful beloveds from our family that have crossed over and want to say hello. That includes our familiars from our human family, but it also includes our pets. And it also includes sometimes animals that we have walked with in parallel lives and in other dimensions that want to, tap in and say hello. And so I've been very, very fortunate, and I want to thank those in our High Vibe tribe and this community that have had sessions with me, and I've learned so much, and I've been so blessed by the beings that are coming through. And people are always surprised to hear me say, "Oh my, I've never channeled anything quite like this," and we all just are very delighted by it. It usually is a very surprising and a very huge blessing for all parties involved,
Well, it's wonderful because it is, and so we're going to give this blessing to those who need it. And I want to say that the messages that come forth, I've witnessed them a lot, and they are for all of us, yet they're pinpointing in on someone specifically. And those would be the people who raise their hand. If you're on the phone, you know what to do to raise your hand. *2 will get you there. If you'd like to ask Aileta a question, you can jump on the phone version, on the phone line. Just back out on this webpage, and you can see where you can join by phone to hit *2 to raise your hand. There'll be a little mini channeling session that Aileta will be able to offer. And if you have a question, we will be taking a few text questions from that Q&A box on our webpage. There's some already coming in. And again, I love it because even though some questions may seem personal, like one here is about the Ascension journey. And that is a message that the response will aid all of us, and it will meet us where we are. It's quite beautiful how that works. So when you say that you are a wide open channel, I do say I compare you lovingly to Judy Callie, our beloved Judy Callie. And many know Judy Callie. She is very popular, and she is spot on. She's got this incredible ability to bring it forth. And you, Aileta, are exactly the same. And it's a gentle...
We love Judy.
Yeah, we love Judy. It's a gentle energy that you bring. But there's a sternness that the masters, when they come through you, not a sternness, but one of confidence, divine confidence. We're actually going to talk more about that in this show. But I just wanted to say it's quite exquisite to hear you. We've done other episodes with you, and I've shared how really you've connected me with my team, which is in the higher realms. Yes, we all have teams here in the physical that help us in business and family and service in the world. And we also have the team that's on the other realm. And that's really what you do. So to witness that, we're going to get there in a moment. But first, let's talk to what you wanted to bring forth, because the beings who communicate with you have said some exciting things lately.
Yes, and you and I spoke a couple of things. We all have teams from the Ascended Master Realm and the Archangel Realm, but we also have our guardian angels that have a very specific job with us and stay with us throughout our lifetimes. And, over the course of years, as you progress in your journey, sometimes those assignments change and the teams around you change. And so it's always nice to get a sense of what's going on in terms of your guidance. And throughout the session, there's been a thread of communication, a thread of information that has been coming through. And particularly the Ascended Masters and some of the individual guides that have come through over the last several months for folks have expressed excitement and have wanted to share that in the next 2 decades and probably 3 decades, that we are going to be witnessing an evolutionary change in the souls, in the beings that are coming to Earth. In large part, in particular, because we have, along with Gaia, created the portals and the frequencies for beings of much higher and finer dimensions of light to incarnate here. The interesting thing about these beings, and I'm surrounded by our Ascended Master team right now because they want me to get this right. It's so funny. I felt all the God bumps, I call it. They're all here. But the thing to know is that they are beings who have not, in their experience as beings, have not witnessed or incarnated on this planet previously. Their goal, and right now they have started to come. There are people in this community right now who are welcoming grandbabies and children and nephews and nieces. They come from areas of the multiverse through stargates that are both known and unknown to us, mostly unknown to us. And they are in a state of, before coming here, in a state of preparation. And when we say that, it is because this earth is so diverse. Not only our people population, our human population is diverse, with the many countries and languages and the many cultures, but also with all of the beings that we share the planet with. And so they are learning about the customs, and they are learning about all that there is to offer here. And Gaia is quite remarkable and quite revered through the multiverse because of how special it is. But it's also their challenge to bring in modalities that we have planted the seeds in our intention, in our co-creative imaginations, and they are going to materialize the peace that we have established, and they are going to be very, very busy bringing back to us with a bit more, I want to say, a bit more extravagance, how we heal the physical body that will have been upgraded. And, you know, we were with Sandra this past weekend, and we talked about the DNA, the crystalline DNA, and these beings are going to be experts in when there's distortion in the DNA. There's going to be different modalities of healing. We will not be cutting open the skin. We will not be removing organs. We will be working with light, because we are light bodies. And we will just say to you right now that this is dual cool that is coming through right now. And so we welcome everyone to the show. And we want to say to you that this is particularly important for those of you who are going to know with a certainty that you have a very special being indeed. And there will be moments of confusion, moments of extreme curiosity, and you know, in this day and age, and for some time now, there has been a lot of talk about children not being quite settled, not being quite normal. They are very hard to handle. They are excitable. They don't pay attention in school. Well, these children will not be able to pay too much attention because they're so far advanced from what is being presented. And so we are going to have to be on a fast track to provide alternative educational opportunities to all of these beings who are coming in with advanced science, advanced technology, not to be fearful of the technology, but the technology that uses a laser, takes our current research and knows what to do with these lasers, that knows how to restore the coral reef, that knows how to purify the land and the water. And all of this is going to occur. And this is another phase of our ascension process. And so we are very excited, and we want everyone to know and to be aware that these beings are slowly but surely coming, and they are incarnating all over the globe. They're not just focusing on one country or one race or one way of being, but to be sure, many of them are coming through, come from planets where there has been no gender identification, because the dimensional aspects of their beingness does not have that duality of gender. Many of them are coming from planets and universes that are very homogeneous, you would call it, that the beings look very much alike, and they have a great deal of mental capacity, but have not necessarily had the experiences of emotion in the way that humans have. And so they are all very excited. They are attending classes, they are mastery classes, so that they understand that we still eat food, that we love our culture, our music, that we speak many languages. And they are going to bring in the light languages that are spoken throughout the multiverse from the places that they are coming. And they're going to integrate with all those of you who are bringing forth those vibrations already. And so we are all delighted and excited to report this, because it is very, very key that we all pay attention and welcome them with great love, respect, and patience.
Yes, thank you, DK Jwal, the Tibetan master. Thank you so much for being here and sharing that beautiful message. It is the new earth that we have been envisioning, and I love that those seeds have been planted and they will come forth in true fruition. Perfect. Oh my goodness. Let's talk now.
You're very welcome. We are remaining with the channel right now. And so you may have a few questions there that we will pick up. And right now there are several masters and guides that will come through this afternoon, time permitting.
Yes, perfect. Okay, so with that, let's talk. DK, please share with us advice that you have for personal ascension journeys. This is specifically asked by Amanda, who would like special advice or a message on that. And that can be for her directly, and of course, all of us as well.
This will sound general, but it will be received well by Amanda and some others, perhaps everyone on the line. But first and foremost, it is important that you be gentle with yourself and know to a certainty that once you have committed to raising your frequency, to integrating higher light, that you do not think that you are not doing enough. This is a journey that is step by step, and you have an opportunity to go deeply within and to feel into that flashpoint that is your inner soul. And of course, we talk about this so much, that we connect to our oversoul or our higher self. But the point we want to make is that when you experience somewhat of a self-doubt, is this really happening? Why do I not feel differently? we will just say to you that it is very critical to the ascension process that while faith in life is very good and a must, it is the confidence with which you know that your journey has been chosen by you at this time for a reason. From that point on, we will say that exhaustion that you feel can be addressed. And one of the things that we asked Aileta to put on the show notes was radical self-care. When we say that, we don't mean to ignore the ones that are in your care, but we say that what is it that you need to do for yourself to lift your spirits? And it may or may not be meditating, and it may or may not be something that you think or you feel is highly spiritual. It may be something more fun, something more social. And so when you are feeling as if this journey is not getting you where you want to be, please breathe and bring in your light. Set your intention to bring in your light. Set your intention to connect to your higher self. And if you don't hear anything, you hear crickets, you hear nothing, trust. Trust that you are indeed communicating. So, now this question is, well, I don't hear my higher self. Well, my beloveds, when you go into your high heart, it is an ethereal heart behind your actual physical heart. And you sit and you wait patiently. You feel the truth before you discern any words that go into the mind. And how do we receive the message from ourselves? We show confidence and we give ourselves permission to open not just our high heart, but our mind to interconnect. And if you're listening right now and you wish to engage in a small exercise, we will just send you a point of light into your crown. And what we are sending to you is directly from us. This is a signature light that we're sending you from the Ascended Masters, but it has a particular resonance that is our resonance, you see? Because the Ascended Masters right now are undergoing the process that you're undergoing as human beings. You're undergoing a collective consciousness and exercise in oneness. And we do the same. But we also honor the individual fractals, the individual personalities of Source that we have chosen to become. And so we honor the whole, and we honor the smaller aspects of that whole, ourselves. So we're going to send you this beautiful light, and if you will, it is a deep yellow, and this is a cylindrical shaft of light that we are sending in through your crown chakra. In the center of this light is the color of our robes, and so you have a twofold light. It's going from your crown chakra. It's going to engage your pineal gland, and the way you know that it's doing it is you think it, and you set your intention. And then it goes to your throat, and we're going to stop right at our heart. And breathe. And as you breathe, expand this beautiful rod to encompass that higher aspect of your embodiment, your head, your shoulders, and just below your breastbone. And you're encapsulated in this light. when you decide that you are going to be communicating with your higher self, you will engage in something similar. And you will set your intention for your high light from your higher self to engage the portal of your crown chakra and bring it directly to your heart with the mapping we just did, and connect them and play with them and set the intention to strengthen that portal of light so that your intuition about your communication with the highest aspects of yourself enlarge, enhance, and grow.
Beautiful.
There are questions. There are questions about, am I eating well? How do I get more sleep? Why do I feel numb? And so we're going to take a few of these one by one. We'll take the numbness, we'll take the exhaustion one first. What we want to say is, for those who are very, very tired, and for those of you who have been, let's say, on this journey for decades, or maybe even 5 years, and you are feeling lost, we give you permission to take that in bundles and send it out. Transmute it, send it to us, send it to the universe, and say, I am whole health. I am a wholly ascended being. Just remembering our original state of glory. You feel as if you've been on a treadmill. And so let's just imagine ourselves on the treadmill stepping off. And right here we would suggest to you, because you are beings of creation, you create the sacred space. Many of you have already created the sacred space for yourselves. The space that you may close your eyes and imagine yourself. It could be in the middle of the ocean on a raft. It could be in a gazebo floating in a beautiful planet with purple skies. It could be in a meadow. It could be on a spaceship. It's your happy place. And so we will say to you that, call upon us. For those of you who haven't created this, when you go into a meditation, create your beautiful sacred space. And if it's indoors and you wish to mimic this in your physical residence, it might be fun to do with a painting or with specific furniture or with a specific rug or pillows. But it's very important to create a sacred place in your mind and in your home from which you can establish peace with yourself as an ascending being and give yourself permission to also be very human. And we want you to imagine yourself stepping off the treadmill, waving goodbye to the treadmill, and stepping into your sacred space. Aileta has one that she created many decades ago. And whenever she wishes to speak to us directly, she meets us in this place. And we talk for very long periods of time. And you can do this. You can create solace, and you can invite us to have these conversations with you and to provide you with the comfort that you so require to have the confidence that you are doing everything just right and that all is well and in divine order. We're going to pause for a moment and give Aileta a little rest.
That is so beautiful, and what a powerful tool to be aware of this connection with our higher self so that we can more deeply communicate with that higher aspect of us. Love all those beautiful tools and beautiful tips.
We know that there are some asking about ingesting food and feeling as though there's much toxicity. And indeed, there has been. And so we say to you that, remember, all is light. And when you cannot have something that is in its highest form, in its organic form, please remember that your light will absorb the absolute highest light of that which you are eating. And it is good to say your ceremony, very small ritual, and infusing your light into the food substance so that when it comes into you, it is actually related to you. It is part of you already. It is the metaphysical aspects of working with light as ascended ones, as people who have been on the journey. And so bless your food. It is the thing that all rabbis, imams, priests, pastors, ministers, all of the sacred sages of the world and in the universe, for those of us who still eat, we bless everything all the time. And it is important to bless your workspace so that there is calm and peace. And we will always remind you, the collective of the Ascended Ones will always remind you to transmute the energy around you. If you are feeling unwelcome in an area or a place, if you are feeling low energy, it is because you are not engaging with the tools that you know that you can change something in an instant. And so we have the violet flame that has been a tool of those on earth, and please utilize that. And know that when you go into a space, you bless all the things around you all the time. That is part of the way of those of you who are intentionally raising your vibration every day. And sometimes we use the word ascension so often and frequently, it loses its strength, it loses its connotations, it loses its vocabulary meaning. And so let us just say that we raise our frequency all day long, all the time. And know, dear ones, beloveds, you will not be more exhausted from doing this. You are actually integrating the light that has been made available from all the realms and from your own intentions, gatekeepers and wayshowers, and Solaris that is working with us and all the beings to raise everyone up, to make this experience one of the most holy and divine experiences we have had as a collective on this planet.
Yes, we cannot have that soon enough. Well, all right. I would like to ask, we're going to go to our phone line in just a moment, but when we're
Very well, we're stepping aside.
Okay. Oh, hi, Deborah. You know, or Aileta. Aileta is your channel name. You are out. And what's very interesting is that Aileta is the persona of Deb, and Deb is a powerful lady in a major metropolitan police department. And so, Aileta, I just want to thank you for your courage as you walk both worlds. Literally, you walk both worlds, and you spread such love and joy in that police department, and it actually shifts the energy. I've actually been witness to that over the years in knowing you, and it's quite miraculous. We've got
Thank
some,
you.
I want to do a shout out to Kim. She says, yay, it's wonderful. She's done a session with you, and it is amazing. And I want to share with everyone that Aileta is going to offer an online class of channeling and more about what it means to channel, how we ourselves can channel. As you mentioned, we all channel and we do receive this information. And so that is going to be offered. It's in a special offer with a personal session with you as well. So there's two options there. I just wanted to mention that for Kim in relation to her question that came in. All right. Let's see. Let's go to our, well, no, actually, I wanted to ask any of the beings who want to come forward and answer this, or Aileta, maybe you even have something to say about the information that you've witnessed come through on this. In the opening remarks, we've learned that as there's these new beings coming to planet Earth, incarnating for the first time, that there's also going to be new healing modalities that do not cause the skin to be cut into or lacerated. Can you share a little bit more on some of what those modalities would be?
Me, no, but someone's going to come through. Wait a minute, hold on. Yeah.
Bring them through. Awesome.
Now, little old me, I don't think so. Wait, hold on a second.
Okay.
Yeah. Ooh, okay. All right. We are the Council of the Archangels from the 12th Dimension, and this is Metatron. Greetings, Loren, and all those in this wonderful community that are listening. We want to say that new healing, new frequencies that are being introduced, and the beings themselves that are coming are going to be almost incompatible with disease processes that are now still here, lingering. And we're speaking of cancer, we're speaking of diabetes, we're speaking of diseases of the liver and the heart and the brain. And we wish to say that there will be those who are still here, you see, that have some cellular memory of those things. And of course, there'll be little segments of the society reminding people that they must take this pill for this thing, or for this kind of pill for depression, or that kind of pill for some organic thing, sexual functioning, or what have you. It doesn't matter. And so it's going to be these young beings when they reach into their teens, their high teens, and their 20s and 30s that are going to be bringing alternatives not only to pharmacology, and they're going to be bringing literal light worker healing modalities. Yes, your Reiki is something that applies, but what we're talking about is very technical aspects of different combinations of light and sound being introduced into the body, but also taking into account the four bodies, the emotional, the mental, the physical, and the ethereal body. and also taking into account the vibratory rate of the being that we will say is going to be a 5, 6, 7-dimensional being here having an expression. And that will be very interesting to witness, because there's going to be a time period where it's going to be a bit of a push-pull, because there's going to be some introduction of laser beam surgical instruments, and we're putting surgery, if you see us, in quotation marks, okay, surgical instruments, where it will all be light penetrating the person's body to correct whatever is out of alignment. And you see, health as a light body, health as an ascending one, is really when all of your cells are aligned with the light that is your highest self. And the being who really demonstrated this is Joshua. When the Christ ascended, he had undergone much training as an Essene over decades of time. And what he knew and what he was able to witness of his own cellular development is a lightening of all of the cells and a transmutation of the DNA, which you understand that you are undergoing right now. And so he could certainly heal himself and look within the body and see, oh, there's a bit of a distortion. Let me address that. Let me correct that with knowing the patterns of how cells and DNA interact with light. There will be some healing modalities aside from no more pharmacology. There's going to be a return and a retrieval of the ancient ones, and all of the ones that are here now listening. Yes, we're going back to plant-based remedies, and we're going to be growing new plants and new formulas, and your soil is going to be adjusted to bring about lighter versions of herbal remedies that are healing not only to the body, but you see, as you become more lighter in your body, there are going to be things that your actual cellular memory of your spiritual selves will need. Certain teas, certain foods. There's going to be some hybridization of fruits and vegetables that are very, very good for the body and very good for the soul. You see, because right now, human beings look at nutrition and it's only one-dimensional when you think of it. It's almost like, well, you need protein for the body, for the flesh, and you need a certain amount of carbohydrates or not, or fat. And it all has to do with the corporal body. But what about the mental body? What about the ethereal body that travels through time and space when the body is resting? And you see, now we're looking at the beings that are coming in to do the horticulture and to develop the hybridization and the seedlings to have all new foods and herbs and plants that feed the whole being. And how exciting is that?
Yes, okay, that's quite beautiful and exquisite. All right. Multi-dimensional healing.
Yes, indeed.
Yes, indeed. Okay. Here are some questions from our audience that I hope you can address. And this one, I believe, this is from Elena. Hello, Elena. We just met in Sedona at the Crystalline Convergence, and it was so beautiful to meet you there. Elena says, I have 2 dogs, 13 and 10 years, and they are both sick with everything I have been diagnosed with. Can you explain this to me?
Yeah, just give me a moment here. Mm. Okay. So this is Aileta, and I'm receiving this information from. I'm going to say it's from our ascended masters, and it has a heavy frequency from Saint Germain and Saint Francis. There's a Saint Francis energy coming through. You know, our beloveds. Sometimes they come in for the purpose, and they draw from our bodies, and they're very cognizant that they're doing it. They will attempt to heal us. And if you've had them, I mean, there are cats and dogs that will actually sit right on the area that is sick. They will actually go into meditation, and they will consciously look into your auric field, and they will consciously look into your body, and they will pull out. Unfortunately, they sometimes absorb too much, and they don't necessarily always engage in release. They absorb and absorb because they're the dimension that they're in, although they're super conscious and very highly evolved, they are not necessarily engaging in something where they pull it and they release it. And so they are so connected to you and so worried about you that they forget. And then they themselves suffer and become sick. And so this is something that occurs frequently. We will say to you that there are special archangels and beings that once you call upon them, and we're calling upon them for your beloveds, to assist them with releasing some of the cellular distortions and some of the illness. It would seem to us that they are preparing, and they don't want you to be upset, but they are preparing to transition. But please know that they will always be near you, and they will still be around to comfort you, and they will be waiting for you when you decide to transition to light. So we know that this is troubling and sad, because it is difficult to lose our beloveds, and we understand. But yes, indeed, cats and dogs in particular do engage in this for us, and they're very conscious of when we do not feel well emotionally, and when we are in particular not well physically, and they come with their special service, their seva. They are servants of the universe. They are servants of God, and so it is.
And so it is. All right, thank you for that.
Welcome.
And yes, one thing that I would like to add there too, with your animals there, Elena, bless your water, bless the water that you give them. That has had miraculous action in my life with a dog. And the dog was given one diagnosis. We did this with his water. I love you, perfect health, and gratitude, and no diagnosis of bone cancer. So it was beautiful. It actually reversed the diagnosis. All right, thank you. Let's go on. Thank you, Aileta, and the beings that you bring forth. We are going to take a question from Kim. And Kim, this is something that many of us are feeling, and it has to do with our light signature. Or actually, the way you put it, Kim, is, can we get some thoughts and inspiration on light coding our signature? I have heard about doing this with my business, but would love some additional insight on the ability to do this correctly.
Light coding. Okay. I need a moment there.
Light coding our signature.
And yes, indeed. All right. This is Adamus. And we are Deborah's guide and teacher. And she has mentioned us as Frank Alper. And so we welcome all of you, and we are pleased to be here. A light signature that is representative of your higher self. And by the way, your light signature expands and changes as you integrate more aspects of oversoul, and you integrate more aspects of multidimensionality. Encoding those can be very effective. But as you encode them, please realize that these brilliant points of light are flexible and can be shifting and changing upon your journey, just as you are firmly planted in your desire and your commitment to carry higher vibrations and ascend to the highest levels of beingness, right? So too can these encodements, because the word encodement itself is kind of resonates like you want to almost solidify it and lock it down. Are we correct in saying that, Lorraine? You're trying to really refine it so that it is available to you in a very specialized way.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And so as you encode it, we would invite you to understand a few things. Number one, there are color frequencies associated with this encodement. And so familiarizing those and being able to see them in your third eye, very important to the encodement process. Secondary, you will feel sound. You may not hear the notes because the sound may be a frequency that is not something that you can audibly get or receive, but there will be sounds on scales, and you are going to encode this by welcoming those sound frequencies and asking for the ability to intuit and hear, or develop some telepathic way of hearing it. And that might be an encodement that you receive to your heart, and you can actually ask to encode this in your sleep, and as you go to sleep to be integrating these sound codes, combining them with your light signature. And then there's a third aspect. And the third aspect is bringing forth a divine, how shall we say, directive. And as you bring forth this directive, you claim this signature and you ask and dictate that it becomes part of your embodiment. And the wording we're going to give you momentarily, we are going to sit here with Aileta and bring it forth. But encoding is an interesting thing. It is embedding it so that it exists without you having to do very much. You think of it and it's there. And so let us think on this and let us give you some verbiage so that you may activate it with a thought. I am that I am. I hereby bring forth the light embodiment of my higher self, with all of its frequencies of sound and color. I am that I am. I hereby integrate my highest light, the signature of the I am that is me, into my highest expression as a human on planet Earth. I bless these frequencies by Mother, Father, God, and all the beings throughout all the worlds who work with me and support me in this journey. And so it is. Many blessings to you all.
Adamus there, thank you.
You're very welcome, dear. We are very pleased with all that you do and so happy that you can bring Aileta on the show. Thank you. Many thank you. Many blessings.
Oh, beautiful. Well, we have some questions now. Let's go to our phone line. We are going up to Washington, Virginia. The last numbers of the phone number are 9248. Hi, caller. What's your name, please?
My name is Kara.
Hi, Kara. So do you
Kara.
have a question?
I do. Excuse me. I feel very connected to the star Sirius, and I feel like I get a lot of guidance from some beings from Sirius. Do you have any information about that, or even about the part Sirius plays right now?
Let me see. Okay. Okay. Well, you do know that you have several guides that are dolphins, right?
Yes, thank you.
From Sirius. They're very playful. They are so playful. It's unbelievable. Such a beautiful energy. Let me see what I can do. All right. So, just so you know, I'm going to need a moment, but, Kara, what we're going to do is bring forth, a collective of some of the beings from Sirius, and they'll greet you. And what I want you to do is to take a few breaths, because what they're going to do is they're going to bring you some light codes. We were just talking about encoded light, and so there's a color, and there's a sound framework, and there's an energetic from Sirius, and it's going to come through your crown, and it's going to actually ripple through all of the chakras in your body, all the way from the crown to the base. I'm not going to go into it too deeply, but you'll feel it as you breathe, and let's see what they have to say, loved one. Okay, thank you. Beloved, 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 we are here and so excited to say hello, greetings, and say indeed you are a star child who has a very strong heritage from Sirius. In this lifetime, you brought with you a great amount of the energies and the information that is necessary for Earth, for Gaia, to advance in love, and also in an interplanetary dimensional way in and amongst the portals that are in our oceans, you see. And so we are many beings from Sirius. We are not just dolphins and whales, you see. We are also humanoids, and we are also angels and ascended ones from Sirius, and we also have many ships that encircle your planet and work with the other galactic nations, if you will, the other galactic planets and races, to reestablish a more healthy and joyful Gaia, but especially with the oceans under stress. We have many of you here that carry the seeds of information on how to bring light and comfort to all of the species that inhabit the ocean. And so that is one of several of the roles that we play in the galactic puzzle of bringing Gaia to her glorious ascended version of New Earth. We're happy to answer a few more questions for you since we are here now.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Is there any message, any particular message they have for me?
Do not worry so much about how it is all unfolding. We see that you are very conscious and you are becoming more aware of our energies. And so we invite you to meet us in meditation, and we invite you to understand that we are walking with you and sending you messages so that you may adapt new ways of feeling in your body, because part of your ascension process is to recognize the aspect of yourself that is a Sirian. We will caution everyone that's listening to know that in this state of multidimensionality, all of you will be recognizing many aspects of yourself and many multidimensional expressions of yourself that are all occurring in the time-space continuum. And so you're not just one of one heritage in our galactic reality. You have several. But the reason you bring in a stronger flashpoint or touchstone is because there is work that you do both in your conscious daily life and in your sleep. When you are asleep and your higher self merges with your ethereal body, and you assist us and you bring forth the vibrations that Sirius and our planetary system has to offer for yourself and for those around you. And so we would say, do not fret too much about what you're supposed to be doing, but know this, that you are spot on in terms of that strong connection to Sirius. And we would say, invoke ourselves. We will tell you that we are a council of beings, and we call ourselves the Council of One of Sirius. That is how you will connect with us when you think of us. Our light is very, very pale aqua. We come through as if we were in the ocean, in your
beautiful Caribbean ocean. And so it's very light blue, aquamarine. You can see right through. If we were an ocean, you could see right through to the floor. You could see your toes. And this is where we dwell. We dwell in this very, very pale aqua light. And along with that, we have a very strong gold element. A very strong gold element. And there is a particular dolphin that wishes to greet you. And we are Anastasia. We will call ourselves, for your benefit, Anastasia. And we are one of your guides. And we look forward to working with you and speaking with you on a regular basis.
Thank you so much. You are so right on target.
Amazing.
Well, we love you very much. We love you, love you, love you. We love you. And we are excited, and we will meet you in your dream space, in our oceans, in the Sirius star system, beloved. And we are going to give the channel a break because she definitely needs it at this moment. But we want to say it has been a great honor to be with you.
It has been an honor for me. Thank you so much, Althea. That was wonderful.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Thank you, Kara. All right. Well, Aileta Grace, we have a few more times. I'm going to give you just a moment to maybe shift. Again, because you're a wide open channel and there's many beings that come in. So as you recalibrate, I want to just point to your special offer. We have questions coming in, far too many that we can deal with tonight. We do want to mention that you're doing a special class on channeling, and that is coming up. Click on the special offer button, and you'll see that there in option 2. That's a beautiful course. And there's questions coming up that really would require more of your dedicated one-on-one time, Aileta, with the personal session, right? When people have real interesting issues with healing situations, with the physical body, and with guidance they might need, it's really helpful if they do get a private with you.
Yes, and I will say this, that they're very individual. There are beings that will come through for specific reasons with a lot of information about those types of issues. But on another level, we do at times introduce you to a vibration of your higher self. We will give you the name and bring through a very particular guardian angel. We will bring through guides and beings that are not earthly and not humanoid, which has shocked and amazed me and blessed me in ways that I cannot even describe. And also the masters and the angelics are very keen on this notion of your light signature, because when you begin to understand and bring through that light signature that is your highest self, you're able to understand more the ascension process insofar as what is your rainbow body. And they talk about, your body is no longer what people feel and see. You kind of flip the script, and DK uses this. Your inner body becomes your outer body. Your higher self becomes your second skin. And that is what is happening to all of us. And it could be very confusing, and it could be a little bit, it could be a little crazy. But that they help you and guide you through that process. As far as the channeling class, I will say that it's new information coming through. I cannot say all things that are going to occur, but I do want to say that we're going to honor all aspects of channeling, not just the voice channeling, because we're all becoming portals of communication for all of the beings that we don't see and hear in the dimension that we exist on, but that are there for us. And so we're going to talk about different levels of it. And several of the beings have said to me that we're going to also do a little bit of a comparative analysis of, well, what was happening 10, 15 years ago and what's happening now and why, and how we can all develop our toolbox, and how we can all kind of figure out where our talents lie. Because if we do decide to be channels for service purposes, we all have a particular, a particular skill set. And some of us do trance channeling, and some of us do voice channeling while we step aside, and some of us are mediums that bring through our beloveds. Some of us really specialize in that because there are a lot of people on the planet that they know that we are spiritual beings, and they know their dad that just passed is okay, but they need that confirmation. And a good medium, a pure medium, who is bringing that through with love and light, brings a very high vibration to that person and brings a lot of relief to that person. So we all have to understand that we all have our role to play, and they're all blessed and they're all divinely inspired. So we're going to talk about all of that: writing, music, art, our animals, all aspects of it, and all aspects of divine communication. And we call it channeling, but it really is contact. How do we communicate with our families, all of our families?
Beautiful. Okay. All right. So please check that out. There is a way that you can access just that webinar. If you scroll down on the page, you'll see description for special offer 2. And you can just purchase that webinar if you're interested in that. And of course, if you want a personal session with Aileta, then go ahead and get a special offer option 2, which has both of those items. And those personal sessions, they're over Zoom and they are recorded. We just get the best feedback from them. Absolutely.
Well, thank you.
Really
Thank
empowering.
you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still new to all the technology, as you know, but I will say to everybody, give it till, if you sign up for a session between now and Sunday, give me until Sunday to button up that Acuity calendar and provide you with the options for times and dates. And if for some reason what's available on Acuity does not match your schedule, if you're overseas or whatever, I do custom appointments. So just make sure that that you get my email address from Loren, and I will absolutely get back to you, and we'll talk it out, and we'll figure out what time zones we're in, and we'll get your appointment up and running. I'm going to be running appointments all the way through the end of July, and then I'll start another group starting in August, so there'll be plenty of time to sign up for a session. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And I just want to say that appointment calendar, which you call Acuity, it's really slick because each person who purchases will put their time zone in, and the calendar keeps track of that, so there's no need to get confused if you're in a different time zone. It's all beautiful. So that will be available, and it's all there for you. We encourage you to consider a personal session with Aileta. Again, she has connected me with my guides, and actually I've learned to work quite closely with them, and it's just a beautiful relationship. And as we learn, when we're on this path and we go down this path, we realize that these guides and the team is really aspects of our higher selves. So beautiful.
Indeed. That's right.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Well, let's go to another caller. Let's go to South San Francisco. Last digits of the phone number, 5351. Hi.
Hello.
What's your name, please?
It's Kathy.
Hi, Kathy. Do you have a question? We have time for one question with Aileta.
Hi.
Hi. I have been really struggling for a few years trying to work on myself and healing and on the spiritual path and trying to get rid of, like most people, different abuse and trauma, and working through that. But I've also been struggling with trying to be myself again and going forward in what I'm supposed to be doing. I've tried to figure different things out, but I'm still trying to heal, and I need to work on something seriously to work on getting income, and I really feel like I've been lost for quite some time, and I can't go back to the life that I had. I know I didn't go through my awakening to go back to the things that were making me ill and traumatizing me, so
Okay.
I would like guidance if there's something.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Well, okay. So, I have several guides around me, okay, and you have, these are the folks around you. Interestingly, on this path that I've been on, I've been joined on a regular basis, actually all the time now, by a newly arrived ascended master, and she is known to all of you by Mother Teresa of Calcutta.
Okay.
And so she has joined us right now, as well as Saint Germain, as well as Jeshua. And so, all right, here we go. So, we're speaking as one voice, and then we will probably fragment off into different personalities, but this is the triad, the council that is presenting on your behalf. And we want to say that as far as work goes, we invite you to work directly with Saint Germain. Saint Germain is stepping forward to say to you that when you develop these plans and when you bless these plans and when you decide to use the alchemy of manifestation, you will feel a little bit more at ease. And the course of action, when it comes to letting go, even if it sounds a bit spiritually trite, because we always bring this, we remind people over and over, when you come in, you're using this violet flame almost like Archangel Michael's sword. And, you know, you say the words, blaze, blaze, blaze the violet flame, because what's occurring to you is that you are bringing, you clear, and then something occurs to bring back some of the doubt and some of the unpleasantness. And so we want to be able to really help you set the intention to clear it once and for all, and to give yourself permission to let go. And then, of course, you have been contemplating several different career moves, and what we suggest to you is to feel into what brings you the most joy. You know, Lorraine works on something called the passion matrix. And so what job will bring you the most joy? And it is difficult. It is difficult not to fret about income. And yet, this is something that we understand that people are suffering from. We worry. We do not feel like we're going to make it. And so we come in and we help you clear this so that you can reside within your body and not be so restless with what has occurred in your past. So we now are sending you this violet flame, not only bringing it through your embodiment, but surrounding you with it, and ask that you set the intention to blaze it in whatever place, people, places, and things that still abound in your conscious mind, and even set the intention that anything is in your subconscious mind about the past to allow that transmutation to occur. And that was Saint Germain. And we are beloved. We are Mother Teresa of Calcutta. And we wish to say to you, my darling, that all you have experienced is no more. We wash it away from you. We take it upon ourselves to tell you that you no longer have to suffer. You will not be on the fringes, and you will succeed in all that you choose to do. But it is up to you to choose. And we are bringing you our light, and we are going to visit you in your dream state and impart many blessings and healing upon you so that you can release all that you do not need, that does not serve you. And we will walk with you, and we will guide you and assist you on this path so that you may feel ease and grace in your embodiment, in your mind, in your spirit, in your high heart, and that you can move forward knowing that you will make very good choices indeed about what you can do that brings you and others joy. Saint Germain wishes for you to sit with him in meditation and bring out a notebook and begin to list and to look at your options as you have presented them to yourself in the past, and there may be one or two new ones that come to the fold. We hope we have been helpful so far, but you can call upon us to continue this dialogue in your sleep and dream state and in your waking state as well. We send you much love, many blessings. And so it is. Amen.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Wow. Okay, so Kathy, please share how you received that. Does it resonate? Do you know this?
Yes, I will. I'll see what happens, and I'll correspond as time goes.
Perfect. Beautiful. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you both.
Yay.
You're welcome.
Yay. Awesome. Okay. Oh, goodness. There are questions, and I'm going to take one more question. I am going to take one more question.
Okay.
Okay. All right. And Linda, you asked again about the exhaustion, and if you joined us late, go back to the beginning because that was a little addressed. Okay. And again, I want to say personal sessions with Aileta are just exquisite and very informative. We are going to Lisa's project right now. And so we ask the great masters in the divine realm to step forward, whoever that may be, for this question from Lisa. I wonder if guidance has any message for me regarding going forward with my documentary project.
Okay. Oh my goodness, that's so funny because Dwalku loves media.
He does. He's my executive
media.
Producer. Yes. So he's here, huh?
Media.
Okay.
He loves media. All right, let me see. Lord, I broke out into a sweat today. I was like, whoa. All right. All right. Okay, we have. All right, it is. Well, yes, indeed. We are stepping forward because we do enjoy this method getting people more aware. And in these films and in these shows, you are encoding messages for people to wake up. And therefore, we would say to you that there is some guidance for you from the Kumaras. And this is interesting, but we are going to say to you that Sanat Kumara and a Venusian team of guides and beings would like to work with you on this. We would say to bring them forward. They are, since we are working with light signatures right now, we are talking about a portal of light that is very Venusian, that is pink and silver. And Jeshua also joins them in offering some guidance on a daily basis interestingly, for the nuts and bolts. Do you have funding for this project? We are going to suggest to you that if you need more funding, that you do something called crowdfunding, and you use the community that would be most interested in these subjects, and you are going to be very successful. You should definitely, in the portals of your higher mind, produce the outcome at the end. What does this look like? Beginning, middle, and end. Why do you want to do this? Who do you want to reach? All of the planning that you've done, yes, indeed, move forward. You are going to be a great success with it, and it's going to help many people and be enjoyed. And so do not fear the interim problems. As they come up, just see them as challenges, and then one by one, call upon us and call upon your team. You have a team of folks that have, interestingly enough, worked with you on these types of projects in other realms and other dimensions. Ask about them. You will receive the answers.
Yes, beautiful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Lisa, we hope that helps. And as you call on these guys more and more, let us know what inspiration comes to you, and also take action on those steps as well. We wish you luck with that. It is beautiful, and the crowdfunding is such a great new way to get the funding and actually start our projects. It's quite exquisite. Wonderful. Okay, I want to thank Dwal Kul. I want to thank St. Francis, St. Germain, Metatron, the Council of the Archangels, Adamus, and all the beings who came forth today through Aileta Grace. And I especially want to thank Aileta. Thank you so much for being here.
Friday Night Live. You never know what's going to happen.
Yes, a special episode here. Real fun to be here together with everyone. All right.
It was. Many blessings to everyone. Thank you, Loren, again, for all that you do for all of us. We love you so much.
Well, thank you, Aileta Grace. As we say goodbye, do you have a message for our collective group? You've already brought such beautiful, inspirational ones forward, but perhaps there's something to round off our call.
Just know that all that you do towards this journey for Gaia, on behalf of Gaia, and on behalf of all of the brother and sister souls on the planet, is the exact right thing and the exact right divine timing. And confidence comes from just knowing. And I think we wanted to talk about radical self-care, but that really is, don't second guess, don't doubt, don't fret, just know that all is well. And the more you trust in that, in the process of life, And the more you go confidently, you will always receive what you need about what it is that you are to do to maintain the highest levels of health and wellness. And you will always be around the people you need to be around to bring forth the highest potential that you have to serve and to be served and to be loved. Love is the glue and love is the key. And that is the radical self-care that we have to engage in. Self-love. Don't ever feel bad about taking care of yourself. It is the number one thing that we have to do so that we can serve others.
Beautiful. So on this Friday night, engage in radical self-care and retreat into the beauty of your space. Thank you, Aileta Grace, and all of the divine realm who shared.
You're welcome, on behalf of all. Wave, wave, wave. All right. That was awesome. Love you all. Thank you so much.
Well, there you have it, the really talented channel, Aileta Grace, bringing forth the divine realm. And if you yourself would like a personal one-on-one session, please engage and invest in your soul and get that information, which really is confirmation of what you know within. And they're beautiful guideposts for you on your journey. That is available on the special offer on this webpage. Thank you all so much for being here. It is now time to dance our way to the cosmic heart. Thank you for listening to this quantum conversation, and thank you for dancing with us to the cosmic heart. As we raise our own vibration, we raise the vibration of the planet. This show is dedicated to you and all awakening hearts, as we are here to shine our bright light and amplify our love. Access all quantum conversations, special offers from our guests, and online healing retreats by visiting acoustichealth.com. I'm Loren Gailey, and from my sacred heart to yours, I honor your magnificent love and light. we leave you now with music from the universe. Music literally created by the universe as musical notes were assigned to mathematical equations. The result is this beautiful music available at acoustichealth.com. Namaste.